Namaste and welcome to SonaliJoshiastrology Astrology channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about, is my Ketu good or bad? Is my Ketu weak or strong? Or is Ketu beneficial for me? This video will also answer how to make Ketu beneficial for you. The remedy to make your Ketu better for you. To those of you who are new to astrology, Ketu rules the natural Scorpio sign or the 8th house. It works very well in the 12th house. If you have placement of Ketu in 4th, 8th and 12th, it means your soul has chosen to use this life in order to help others, in order to give resources to others or give peace of mind to others depending on the placement. And if you are already doing this, your Ketu is good. Now I'm going to tell you a few signs. If you notice at least half of them, that means your Ketu is beneficial to you and it is working very well. Number 1, you can forgive people and don't hold grudges. It is easy for you to forgive others and you do not hold all the emotions, thoughts about them that are disturbing you. You do not have complaints about them. Whatever wrongdoings they have done to you, you come to a point and say, that's fine. I can forgive them. If this is the case, Ketu is good in your chart. It is beneficial to you. Number 2, if you are ready to donate, give away something that you love the most when it comes to food and resources typically. If you see any kid, even they are like 3-4 years old, and if you ask them if they are eating their food, favorite food, for example, any sweets, and you ask, can I have a bite? If the kid says, okay, you take little bit, it means the kid has good Ketu. And as the kid grows up or you are a grown up person, you will notice you are ready to donate food and the important resources. And when I say the resources, depending on the placement, it can be books, learning material, pencil, pen, clothing, electronic gadgets. It can be shoes. It can be as basic as, just one meal to somebody. It means you have good Ketu. Number 3, if you do not judge people who are not doing well in their life, or same way who are very successful than you. It can go both ways. We grow up in a culture where comparing with other person is so common. You cannot be just successful or good unless you compare yourself with somebody and say, they are not doing good. They are not doing well. Or you feel sometimes bad that others are doing really well. If that is present, then Ketu is not good. In fact, when you do not judge people, how they are doing, good or bad compared to you, Ketu is better, Ketu is really good. Get into the habit of doing that and you will realize your Ketu is working really good for you. You are getting help from unexpected places and it becomes easy for you to move forward. Number 4, you don't end communication or friendship with people who lack any kind of perfection or are not able to do favors to you. In our community, it is very common that you will make friendships with only those people who can give you something. Right from the childhood, we get into the habit of, make the friends who make you better. Make the friends who can give you something. Always go and reach out to the person who can give you something. We think about what I can get from this person all the time. And we only communicate with them, only have friendship with them, and if possible, relationships with them. And if you don't do that, you have friends who are not as successful as you are, or they are not in a position to give you anything still you have maintained the friendship or relations with the people. That means you have really good Ketu. In other words, the next thing is you treat the rich and the poor the same way. And I understand that with the inherent bias we have been growing up, you will always see there is a difference, but at least you are not publicly insulting somebody just because they are not as well off as you are or other people. This is a great sign. And the same way, you are not giving too much access to the person who is rich compared to the other guy. It is still okay. Ketu is about detachment, indifference, and hence your behavior ideally should be same in both cases. But it will take time, but if you naturally can do it, at least when you are a kid you were able to do it, you still have a good Ketu. The most important sign of having good Ketu, you trust your intimate relationship. If you are in a romantic relationship or you are married, or you make sure that whatever business partnership you have, you trust that person fully. You have faith in them. You have very good Ketu. Because always remember, if there is a doubt, every relationship, every friendship starts spoiling. And Ketu is beyond that. Ketu is not about judging your actions, what you do. It is about complete faith and trust. And that's why Ketu has given the moksha sign of 12th house or Pisces. Number 7. While you are doing any work, any project, you get lost in the efforts and the process, and your mind is not on the end goal or end result. If you can do this, you have really good Ketu. And if you are not able to do it, at least start focusing on the work at hand, process that you are going through, the journey instead of the end result. Because Rahu exactly works opposite. Rahu has that goal and Rahu is working towards that goal. But Ketu is about in that moment. Ketu is not worried about what is the final outcome. So start focusing on the efforts and the process as much as you can, and at least whenever you can. This will improve your Ketu. And you will notice this is a very important thing. If you go to our scriptures, you will see all the people who are yogis, they can go to sleep anywhere, whether they are in the jungle, ashram, or in Himalayas, cold weather, rainy season, they can sleep, they can fall asleep, standing, sitting. We may not be that way, the yogis displayed the power, but if you are able to go to sleep after day's work, this is a good sign that you have a good Ketu. It means there is no other planet that is disturbing your 12th house. It is not Rahu, it is not Saturn, or it is not any other planet that is disturbing the good night's sleep. You can detach yourself very well from whatever happened during the day or what is coming in the next day. And if you can go to bed well, that is a good sign that you have good Ketu. Have a routine for your sleep time. Follow the discipline. Try to get detached from all the worries and stress that you have. Your Ketu will start improving. And the last sign that Ketu is good or beneficial to a person is whenever you get a chance to help people who are in distress or agony due to various reasons, like there is natural disaster, there is any illness or poverty, you get that chance and you help them. This is a great sign of having good Ketu, because there are so many people sometimes who want to help but they are not in a position to help others. Maybe they don't have enough resources, maybe they don't have time, and they are pressed with their own needs. But if you get a chance to help others and you do that, it means you have very good Ketu. Remember, Rahu Ketu is the energy which usually expresses itself in a way that we are taken towards something that is fascinating, and we tend to move away from something that is basic, not that good. But remember, Ketu is that part which will deliver results when you least expect. And once you understand this, people with 5th house Ketu, they have to definitely remember, do not set your goals or anything, just focus on the process and results will be there. Because 5th house is also our ego. And when we think about, okay, I need to do this for being good, being the best, Ketu will not deliver anything. On the other hand, when you don't expect much, Ketu delivers a lot. Ketu in the 2nd house will always make sure that you have food when you are least expecting. Ketu in the 3rd house will give you a lot of avenues to communicate, have good friendships when you least expect. Ketu in the 4th house have minimum expectations from your mother and the close family members. You will have a lot of joy. Ketu in the 5th house, your goals, trying to be the best, keep it away. Even with the kids, be happy with what they are doing. Making kids run after your own goals or what you want them to do will be never successful if Ketu is placed in the 5th house. Ketu in the 6th house, you will find your enemies or somebody who is competition out of nowhere. And hence, always remember, it is okay that there are people who are better than you. There are people who share opposite philosophies than you, and they also have existence. Accept that, and 6th house Ketu will be better. Ketu in the 7th house, your partner cannot be like you. Most likely they share opposite views, and Ketu is there in the 7th house to understand their existence and their acceptance. Accept it and the resistance will be lower. Ketu in the 8th house, there are secrets, and once you know and you don't go on your own finding for them, Ketu will help a lot. Ketu in the 9th house, it is about higher dharma, having principles, and principles can be different for different people. Accept that, life will be better. Ketu in the 10th house, you may feel like I want to leave the job. Even before signing the offer letter, you decide, okay, I'm going to work in this company, work on this project for a year or so. Don't do that, because setting that kind of expectation will always be wrong for Ketu. Ketu in the 11th house, it is about big systems. It is the connections between them, and they will be coming from places that you never imagined. Don't go looking for such connections or looking for profits. Focus on the process, focus on profit sharing, and things will work. Ketu in the 12th house, there are always issues happening behind the wall, in private spaces, and we all know that. But when you fully trust someone, that trust will always be helpful. And that is why Ketu has given the 12th house of moksha. When Ketu is in the 1st house, you always feel, what do I do? Whom should I follow? Who is my role model? But understand, you can be the role model without even thinking. Just do what you love, what you like, and which is good for the humanity, and you will see lot of good results. Ketu is a planet which delivers when you expect it the least, and hence Ketu has that magic touch. Rahu and Ketu, usually when we use these words, they are good or bad. Actually, your soul has chosen that placement, that Rashi, and the house placement or nakshatra placement for you. It has a reason for that. It is bringing you the pending karma that you are going to do in this lifetime. So try to do the good things related to that house and the Rashi. And hence, if you go through those 9 things that I mentioned, it is a sign of having a benefic Ketu, and it is the remedy for making your Ketu better. Namaste, thank you, Shubhamastu.